Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Welcome to 40 Something Podcast.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
It's a little childish and stupid, but then so is high school.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Be excellent to each other.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
Get to the chopper!
There's something very important I forgot to tell you. Don't cross the street.
All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egan.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
There can be only one.
And now your hosts, Trevor Schaefer and Jerry Mullen.
Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 17 of 40 Something Podcast. And yes, I'm not used to that intro because normally I say, hey, I'm Trevor Schaefer and this is Jerry Mullen. But
Alexa did it for us.
She did. Gotta work on that intro there, yes.
Yeah, such a sexy beast.
She answers all my questions. Between her and Siri, I'd be lost.
Wow. Well, I was going to say something about my wife, but nah.
Yeah. A wife just tells you you're wrong.
Yeah.
Siri will just say, I can't answer that. So, it's you know.
Apparently I'm wrong a lot then. But anyway.
I'm never right.
I haven't been right since, well, ever. Now that I think about it, ever.
There you go.
So.
At least you know your place.
I do.
So how you been, buddy?
Pretty good. I'm going to bring up Castlevania Requiem for week 4. Yeah, there you go. I was so addicted to it, I platinumed it.
Oh. Well, wait. It was during the last show, you said you didn't care about platinums anymore.
I did, but you know what? By the time I got through, I 100% Rondo of Blood, and that was during last week. And during this week, it was I think Monday, I got to the end of Symphony of the Night, and I was only 2 trophies away from doing it. One was get the whole map, which, at that point I was at 198%, so I was like, shit, I'm only a few feet away from getting that. And then one was buy the most expensive item in the game, which was the item duplicator, which I just found a place to grind money until I got it. And then I was like, well, I'm done. The best part about this is, though, so now I have one more than my brother. And he doesn't know that. And I haven't said anything to him. And I don't think he's been on his PlayStation because he's not playing a game right now, which I find shocking. But anyway, so I don't think he noticed it yet. I'm gonna when he comes home in a week or two for Thanksgiving, I'm just gonna be conveniently on the home screen of my PlayStation, so it's out in the open to see if he notices it.
Knowing John, $10 says he doesn't even notice it.
He might not. He always throws it in my face. He goes, well, I have 10 games that I'm at 90% that I could platinum pretty easy. I said, well, why don't you fucking do it then?
Yeah, you have no kids. You have no wife. You get all the time in the world.
You have minimal responsibilities.
You come home, you sit in your cat napper, and that's it.
Yeah, and then bed. So, yeah, what's even better is he doesn't listen to this show either, so.
Oh, pussy feathers.
Thank you. The best use of the soundboard ever. I made that his text message thing on my phone.
Did you?
I love when he texts me. I love it. So that's it. I'm done with Requiem, which it's also very sad because I was really into it, really into it every day. So, but what about you?
Go ahead, ask me.
What'd you do this week?
No, I know what you're gonna say.
Oh no, that's not a couple more days. I'm not gonna ask about how you haven't defeated Portrait of Ruin yet.
No, I haven't defeated Portrait of Ruin yet.
Or have you played it?
Not since the first time when I charged my DS.
Fail sound.
I know. I am a failure.
You're a busy dude, though.
I am a busy dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I got lucky and I got some time this week, to play it. So, over the weekend.
I had time today, but I spent it in my dad's old garage trying to not perfect, but improve my welding skills. So,
It looked good. The picture you sent me, it looked good.
It was good. For those of you who don't know, I went today. I'm building a burn barrel to burn a lot of brush down our property, and I had to make a handle. And so I took a 2-foot piece of rebar, chopped it down, and made a handle. And it all turned out good, except if you look at the picture, the ends of the rebar came up a little bit because the lid flexed when I was heating it.
Well, yeah.
So it's only tacked in one place on each end where I wanted to tack the entire bar. But at that point, it was like, I don't give a shit. I've been, it's solid. It holds.
It'll burn.
Yeah. So I want to make it right before I take it down there, because once I take it down there and start burning shit, and if something breaks on it, I'm not hauling it all the way back home. It's going in a dump pile, and then I'll just buy another one.
Yeah, no, I'm taking a look at it now. I can see where it flexed a little bit, but it isn't bad. It isn't.
Because it was completely flat, and then once I started heating it up, the lid flexed, and that's not a big deal.
No. Now we just got to get that airflow system in there, and
well, it's got the air holes. We just have to put some fins in it with a leaf blower.
Yeah,
and then we could get the Fire NATO.
Fire NATO. Our luck will be 20 of the 72 acres you own will be burned to the ground.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be it'd be good for the woods. It's a good burn is always good for the woods. It rejuvenates it, but I don't want to be the cause of that. I'd rather it be lightning.
Yeah, lightning or not a human.
Considering there's houses around it now, they're not close, but close enough that I don't want to be held responsible for burning down several houses.
Wasn't me.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how it got there.
It's just the damn kids and their damn dog. So, wow. Showing my age.
I would have got away for it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
You meddling kids. Wascally robot.
Oh my God, it's old man Withers from the amusement park.
Oh man, we are old.
We are
40-somethings. Sweet Jesus. Okay.
I'm reminded every morning when I get out of bed and my knees just like crinkle.
Yeah. That's usually my elbows when I get up and I hear like, ugh.
Usually, hey, hang on. Let's see if I can.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And then we got the.
Yeah. Some of my knuckles are so bad I could just repeatedly pop them. Like they have fallen apart.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we have a couple things that we both wanted to talk about this week, and it was shows and movies that we've seen.
We had. Sorry, go ahead.
We've both seen Bohemian Rhapsody at this point. We've both seen Castlevania season 2, and we are you're up to episode 4 of Doctor Who, and I'm up to the newest one, which I think is episode 5. So,
and you've got to catch up because I finished the final season of House of Cards, and you haven't started that one.
No, I haven't had a chance to start that. So we could go. I don't know. Let's start with since we talked about Castlevania. Let's just continue on, and then we'll move on to the other two. The Castlevania anime season 2 puts the first one to fucking shame of how good it was.
Yes, and thankfully they doubled the amount of episodes. They went from 4 to 8, which I did not know. I thought it was still 4, and after the 4th episode, I'm like, wow, that's a shitty ending. And then a little Netflix comes up, episode 5 starting in 10/9. I'm like, damn. And I'll tell you what, it's an easy watch through. I watched through them all in an afternoon. They're only 20-some minutes a piece. So it's really easy to sit down and watch 8 of them. It's only 4 hours, but, you know.
Yeah. You know what? Binging a show in 2018 is just commonplace.
I literally binged the final season of House of Cards because that was only 8 episodes. I binged it in one day.
Oh. So. Maybe I'll watch one after this. I'll watch the first one. I got to know about Frank, but I don't want you to say anything.
No. I'm not giving anything away. But once you finish it, I want your opinion.
Okay.
I've got very strong opinions. I want to know your opinion.
Okay. All right. So Castlevania went the route that I had hoped it did.
Yes, I will agree with you.
You got your whole Castlevania 3 / somewhat Symphony of the Night kind of ending as it moved forward. But one of the things I really enjoyed about it was they showed the Belmont's library.
Yes, that was amazing.
That was a fantastic thing to show. There's all those generations of them, and there's basically for us it was like all the Belmonts in the games had place, But
and the one thing I love that they played into that was because Trevor said that he was been on his own since 13. He hadn't been in the house, and he didn't know a lot of the family lore history, that he just wandered. That when he was in the library, you had, just generations of knowledge there, and he could care less. He's in the corner just looking at stuff, and
he was happy to find the vampire killer, which I thought was great. And even in the end, he gave the library to Alucard. Because the castle was on top of it at that point. He told him to keep it. So I wonder how that'll play into another season, because we felt like we found out about 1 minute before we started that there's going to be a season 3. So I'm excited.
And that's going to be 12. They're extending it. No, sorry, to 10 episodes.
So 2 more.
2 more episodes, which the way they left it the storylines open enough that they can easily do another season, but they closed them off enough that if it wasn't renewed, I would feel okay with the way it ended.
Yeah. It ended with, Trevor and Cypher, they were off to battle more evil. And
they were headed to that town where the Dracula's castle appeared last. I forget the name of the town.
Yeah, they all have goofy fucking names.
Because she took the female vampire, Camilla. She took the Forge Master hostage, pretty much, and you're my bitch now.
I like those two, because Hector and Isaac were actually characters in other games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they aren't that fucking dark. But...
Well, I love. Well, it was Isaac, wasn't it? The one that was banished to the desert by Dracula. He kind of saved him because he was his favorite. That when he came across that gang, he's like, I'd like an army too, and just completely murdered them and then turned them.
Decimates them. Turns them into demons. But Hector was more timid.
Hector was a little bitch.
He was, but. And you know what? When you're first introduced to them, you're like, well, here's these 2 guys, and they don't say a lot. Dragon doesn't say a lot about it, but
okay, wait. Before we start this, we are in complete spoiler territory, people.
Oh God, yeah. This whole fucking show is spoiler territory.
Yes.
Excuse me. So, and the first little bit you meet them, and you realize that Dracula trusts them more than fucking every vampire in the room. I was like, well, that's pretty cool, but I'm like. And Hector, I don't know which one it is either. I think it's Hector was in that one. I swear to God, it's the only Castlevania I think I haven't really ever played. Is that one for the Xbox that we kind of talk about from time to time?
Oh, the one I used to have that. Yeah.
And that's the one with Trevor Belmont's in the same game. So, that's kind of how they locked that in. I don't know what Isaac. I have an idea what Isaac's from, but I just don't know the name of it offhand. And
Isaac was a badass though.
He was.
Hector was a bitch. Isaac, when he killed Godbrand, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And and Dracula's like, what'd he say? Should I be concerned if anyone's gonna come up against me? And he's like, you'll never have to worry about that. I'll take care of it without you knowing.
Yeah.
That was right after he killed Godbrand. Yeah.
I'm surprised Carmilla didn't die near the end, but I think that's how they're going to extend the show out through her. So that's good.
Because she's going after the castle.
Mm-hmm. She is.
So.
They'd be stupid. It'd be kind of be dumb not to. But I don't know if I really, after how awesome Alucard was in the final battle.
Oh, he was awesome.
Turning the wolf, the mist, the sword was flying around. You're like, well, fuck, I wouldn't mess with him either.
I love when Alucard, Sypha, and Trevor first entered the castle together. And for the first time, that would have been, episode probably 7? So you're talking, that's 11 episodes, and we finally heard the Castlevania theme.
You did. You did. That was great. This is like a dream come true kind of show for me, and I thank God they made it. Just for I don't care if it must do good to get a second season. But then again, it's probably not too hard to get another season on Netflix either. But
the only problem with an animated series, it takes a while for it to produce. It's not like live action where, okay, we'll go film it for 3 months and we're done. I mean,
yeah.
That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that that show's hand drawn either.
No. But I'm saying it takes a lot longer to animate.
Oh
than
yeah,
it
no,
does
it does.
That I think we're going to see another yearly release. That I think around Halloween time again next year we'll see. Hopefully, season 3.
Something to look forward to next year.
Yes.
Besides everything, but I got an argument with my brother about the show, and I said, I said one of my favorite parts was the fact that his sword was his familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes, no, it wasn't. He was controlled with his might. I said, no. I said they had it in the game where he had a sword familiar. It's a sword familiar. He goes on and on about it. I fucking hung up on him.
I think my favorite part of the show, and I never saw this coming, was how much of a badass Sypha turned out to be.
Yeah, they kind of...
Because she was never like that in the games.
No, I mean, she had like really powerful attacks, but she's only in one game, too.
Yeah, but I mean, she was a legitimate badass. I mean, she took on like any vampire and she held her own.
Yeah. She cut that one in half with the ice. That was fucking awesome.
I mean, she literally dragged Dracula's castle to right where she wanted to, melting the entire machine inside in the process.
Yeah. But yeah, when I saw that machine that transports the castle around,
mm-hmm.
the only thing I could think of, I don't know how far back you go in Nickelodeon, but it was Count Duckula. Remember Count Duckula?
I remember Count Duckula.
Count Duckula, he could step inside of something, the castle would transport wherever he wanted it to. And I'm like, holy fuck, it's Count Duckula.
I do have to say, I did smile when you see Dracula go into the room to move the castle, and the main controller is the safe, orb from Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
That was fantastic. So, overall, I give it a 9 out of 10. That's just
yes,
me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it could. Obviously, you don't want to give it a 10 out of 10 because you want it to get better. You want more of the. But I don't know where to go from here.
That's a good
question. You don't
question.
go into Symphony of the Night at this point, because, well, you don't.
No, because I mean, you've established the universe. The universe is Trevor Belmont.
Yeah.
You can't, unless they jump ahead that Alucard restored the Belmont home, the new generations of Belmonts are there, and you walk into Trevor Belmont. Not Trevor Belmont. Simon Belmont.
Yeah.
So.
Or you go farther than that, and you bring in where you are at Symphony of the Night, and you're doing Richter Belmont.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe we'll get something out of Super Smash Brothers.
Oh. But I think if they moved ahead though, time wise, in between seasons, I think that's really a cop out.
It is. I think you should.
You got to at least, if you want to do half a season and finish up the Carmilla storyline, which obviously is left hanging, and then the next episode be like, after they defeat Carmilla, Trevor and Sypha go off together, and then Alucard's like, I will rebuild your home, you go, do your thing, and then on the screen, 200 years later.
Yeah.
And then that would, but you have to tidy up that Carmilla timeline.
You do. You have to get rid of her.
Yeah.
I mean, even though, like, vampires are immortal, and, you could do that whole line, too, but... Blade could have showed up. Oh, no.
Have you ever seen Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust? The second one?
No, you've asked me that before, too, but I never have.
It's a very unique take they did on the vampire lore. It's not Dracula or anything. It's the vampire's name is Meyer. And he has a castle, but
he doesn't sparkle, does he?
No, he does not sparkle.
Thank God.
He does not sparkle.
It's already better than Twilight.
But his castle, you find out at the end, he always talks about the land of eternal night. And he takes a human bride, and that's the whole point of contention with D. But at the end, you find out the castle, kind of like in Voltron, is a spaceship. And they go up into space, which is the land of eternal night.
Well, yeah, no, all right.
That's
okay. It's kind of a mind fuck, actually.
It is, but it's like it's a different take on the lore where they could, because Carmilla is not really a main Castlevania lore character, that they can kind of take that into any direction they want to go. Like they can make her have her own castle and do weird shit like that. That would be an interesting turn to take.
Yeah. And they could get into. I mean, they have 1,000 Belmonts they could use.
Yeah.
You know, anywhere, even up to the the Lords of Shadow level, where he became Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you could do anything.
Yeah.
But, you have to seal up the story. You do. You have to. You have to do it like George Lucas and close some holes.
But then he rips open a whole bunch of new gaping wounds
he does.
in the process.
He does. But, at the end of, you have to admit, at the end of episode 6, they closed a lot of holes. Episode 3, I'm sorry. They closed a lot of holes. They also left 53 other ones open, but I digress. No!
That's how we closed out episode 3.
Yeah.
And how did she die? She doesn't have the will to live.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she fought in 3 major conflicts.
Lazy writing.
Let me say, just like the one guy I watch on YouTube says, because plot.
Yes.
That's why. Because plot. It's the truth. So.
I hate to say it, but I've taken up one of Clint from LGR's sayings. Whenever I do, because reasons.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I say that at work all the time. It's like somebody will ask me why that happened, and be like, reasons.
Reasons.
It works. So how about I have to work Thanksgiving night?
Oh, I've done that. That
sucks. Here's what it is.
But why do you? Because technically you're in retail, but you're on the warehouse side of it. You're not in a store.
We do a lot of e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
So we do a lot starting like Thanksgiving night, and it goes through till Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
And yards, So I said, I don't think wholeheartedly I said to my boss. So I didn't think I did. I said, you know what I'm thinking about? Because we have to work a day and a half over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's what our boss wants us to do. Get a day and a half in just to help out the effort. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I said, well, maybe I'll come in that Thursday night, 10 to 6, come home and go to bed. And I said, when the kids start waking up at like 9 or 10, I'll get up and, do shit. Maybe I'll come in at, later in the afternoon on Friday. So he emails me today. He goes, well, I'll see you at 10 o'clock on Thursday night. I'm like, fuck.
I wasn't serious.
I am now. So I have a nice hot Thanksgiving dinner to take with me, too.
Oh.
But on a side note, the night before, not the night before, a couple of days before Thanksgiving, my family wants to go to that escape room in Kingston. Did you hear about this thing?
I've heard about it. My sister-in-law actually booked an escape room for us to do in Bethlehem on Black Friday.
Oh, God.
So I'll be right there with you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, my aunt goes with me. So there's going to be me, my brother, my cousin, 1, 2, 3 aunts, my other cousin, his girlfriend, my sister, my brother-in-law, Kelly. It's like 10 of us. So it'll be 2 teams of 5. And my mother took everything. So it might be more than that. All my aunts look at me while I'm talking to my brother on the phone, and they go, "No fucking way, you two are on the same team." I'm like, what the fuck?
I think that's going to be a way with me and Jack, that they won't let us on the same team because we'll probably just figure all this shit out.
Here we go. Key. Okay. Door. All right, we're out. So
that's the thing. We've been playing video games for decades. Escape rooms are our domain. We know how to do this shit.
Yeah. I'll be looking for a handle to pull in the wall. Or
exactly. Hey, that wall is slightly a different color. I know there's shit behind that.
That's what every time I go up by the mall and there's that seal. You remember how the pizza place used to have his own door?
Yeah.
On the side. So the bricks are different. I'm like, I know if I bomb that, there's something in there. There'll be something in that wall. Yeah.
Same thing used to be on the Sears side when Sears was there.
Yeah.
There used to be an entrance there, then they turned it into a storeroom there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like, I know something's there.
Yeah. So.
And I'd be shocked if I broke down the door and there was a turkey there, a la Castlevania.
What did the nerds say? If there was a turkey leg in this wall, I would so eat it. He had a couple episodes rock out this week too.
Yeah, for Halloween he had Resident Evil Survivor, and I just watched the other one last night.
Highlight.
Virtual
Highlight.
Yeah, they were painful.
The original Highlight I played on the NES, and I can't say I did good at it because it sucks. It super sucks. Virtual highlight is a product of its time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's like, hey, we can do polygons. Look at this shit. No,
you really.
you shouldn't have. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
It's that old line. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, it's like that old line, from Jurassic Park. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it.
Yes. I know many a game. Master of the Terrace Kasi. That's another game. Oh, that is another game.
I'll go with the Street Fighter EX series.
I like EX. So
I like EX too, but it's still a hot mess.
It is a hot mess. It's it's like your sister's friends, Or, not yours. I'm not saying yours.
No, but it's accurate.
Yeah, there's a chance she'll never listen to this.
I guarantee there's no chance.
So, that's what I always said about some of my sister's friends. They're like, well, she's a mess, but she's really good looking too. so anyway, so we both, so we got through Castlevania.
Last weekend we saw Bohemian Rhapsody separately, but within 24 hours of each other. Yeah, and we actually haven't talked about it at all.
No, I think that's good though.
Yes.
I don't know if we mentally decided not to. Who knows? Maybe we did. I'd say. I just want to ask you this question, because you're as big a Queen fan as I am. As you're watching the entire movie, listening is more what I'm trying to hit.
Yeah.
Could you tell when it wasn't Freddie Mercury's recordings and when it was?
Well,
I could. So.
I could tell you, as far as I know, they used all of Freddie Mercury's recordings. Everything was him.
No, I think there was some. These are recordings I've never heard.
Well, I mean, there were live recordings they used for a lot of the stage shows. The only thing I think was manufactured was when he met Brian and Roger for the first time, and he does that little singing thing in the parking lot.
Yeah. I'll agree with that, but I'm telling you, there were some parts of it, like the live chunks.
Yeah.
Maybe there are live shows that I never personally heard.
Yeah, a lot of them were unreleased live shows and shit like that. But as far as I know, every bit they used Freddie Mercury. That they didn't use a voice double or anything.
God, he was fantastic.
He was.
And the movie was too. The movie was, even though it's a stretch of the truth. That's what I've been told it is, because it's not all exactly the.
No, it is. It's a dramatization, yeah. But what I liked about it, and it was a very fine line, is they paced it well enough that you got to get Freddie's backstory, Queen's rise, but they only did like a half an hour on, I would say, Freddie's fall, when he goes into his party phase and alienates himself from Queen and finds out he has AIDS. That they could have made the whole movie about that. They could have made, an hour and a half out of 2 hours and 15-minute movie that, and they didn't. They had to address it, but they didn't make it a downer movie. They didn't make it like, oh my God, I am so depressed after watching this, that you left the theater feeling sad that he was gone, but in a good way. You're like, wow, that was just, he was an amazing person, which we both knew, but.
Yeah. And I said this to a guy I work with. I said, it's the first time I went to a movie and knew every song.
Yes.
Like I knew every song.
Yes.
It was excellent, I was like, man, it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't like some unreleased song that they put in there, because I was kind of waiting for that to happen too. But that made it fantastic.
And the way they did certain things was fantastic. Like when Freddie comes in late to a recording session and they're all fighting, and Deeks just sits down and starts pulling off the bass riff of Another One Bites the Dust, and everyone just stops like, that's a really good riff. I mean, it was just little moments like that. That was just, it was fun to watch like that. Like,
I think my favorite, that part is really good, actually. That's a really great part. Of course, the live 885 scene. It's iconic. That's killer. That is. You know what I mean? The real version or that is really good.
And I told Jess this afterwards. I said, I know they probably didn't want to do it, but I think a really cool thing if they had done is a lot of times during the Live 8 sequence, I mean, Rami Malek was playing the piano, and you could see his reflection in the piano right above the keys. If they had just switched that once to see actual Freddie Mercury in the reflection instead of Rami Malek.
He looks so close, though.
But I think it would have been freaky, like that little did I just see what I thought I saw type of moment.
So like
that,
kind of like a ghost moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
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 All right, yeah.
Like put
I
the
think
spirit there.
The whole part, of course, Mike Myers' cameo was fucking out of this world.
Not only was his cameo great, the ending when they're playing Live Aid, and he's just so depressed, sitting there with his scotch because he said Bohemian Rhapsody will never be on radio, and Queen is never going to amount to anything.
Yeah. Wrong! Lex Luthor wrong. But them recording Bohemian Rhapsody and the nutball fucking shit they were doing.
Oh, yes.
God. I said to Kelly, I don't even care if this isn't true. This is fucking hilarious.
Well, I actually saw back when VH1 did like their behind the music thing. They actually had one for Queen, and they actually had the 3 surviving band members on. And they actually talked about Bohemian Rhapsody, that Freddie had them all record their parts, but he never let them listen to how they were going together and in what order until the song was complete. So they were given parts. They did the Galileos. They did the guitar solo. They did the operatic part, but they didn't know why they were recording it or for what song until at the very end they mixed it. Freddie mixed it together and then played it for them for the first time. And according to them, that's when they were just kind of like, "Holy shit! This changes things. You know, this isn't your typical rock and roll song."
No. And it isn't. It really isn't. Thank God for Wayne's World,
And I have to say, every actor that got to play the band members, it's eerie how much they look like them.
You're right.
It is absolutely eerie.
Every one of them.
Every one of them.
Yeah, every one of them.
Yeah.
I didn't kind of think about that at first. But overall, I mean, the movie is... If you're a fan of this... Let's just start with, if you're a fan of the band...
Yes.
You owe yourself to go out, like, now and see it. If you're not a fan of the band and you want to see a good film, still see it anyway, because it's good.
Yes.
It really is. I can't take anything away from it.
And if you just happen to be a casual fan of Queen, go to the movies to a nice theater with a nice surround system and listen to the music in a whole new way you've never listened to it before.
Yes. The overlaying parts when they were doing We Will Rock You, of them doing it and the audience at a concert doing it and him singing, that's great stuff. That is great stuff. But it did, like you said, it obviously ends on a downer note.
And we all knew it does because...
everybody should know how Freddie Mercury, Freddie Mercury died of AIDS, and then it's, but it's everything up to that point is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even that, I can't say it's awesome, but it's like, you knew it.
Yeah, and it was nice the way they ended it. Like I said, they could have taken that film and made most of it about the tragedy, where they had that half hour of him partying, breaking off for Queen, finding out he has AIDS, but then they led up, going right up to Live Aid. And Live Aid was the end of it. Technically, it was a bookend because the beginning you see him getting ready to go on stage in Live Aid.
Yeah,
and the end of the Live Aid performance is when they cut to black and they show the real Freddie Mercury and explain how he died of pneumonia complications complications of AIDS-induced pneumonia.
Yeah.
That it was a good way to end it. That don't show him sickly in bed, don't show him on the decline. You go out on top.
You're right. And like Mercury spent the last 6 months of his life in the recording studio.
Yeah.
He tried to give everything he could.
Well, The Show Must Go On was the last video he ever filmed.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. If we didn't have dinner reservations an hour later, my wife said, "I want to go back and see it again."
No.
But I was hungry and I wanted to go have dinner.
Yes. Sometimes hunger outweighs all.
Plus, we went out to celebrate our wedding anniversary by doing this, and it was a kid-free couple hours and a kid-free dinner in an adult restaurant with real napkins, not paper napkins, and no soda dispenser.
Yeah.
And no combo meals.
No fries.
No fries.
Yeah, which is, a big thing. So how many years of marital bliss is it now?
12.
Oh, getting up there.
Which we told the guy, because I made the reservation online. They ask if it's a special occasion, so I put the anniversary. And at the end, the waiter comes over and he's talking about dessert. And he's like, would you like dessert? Or the place is really awesome. They bring out the desserts. They're little cups. And they bring it out in kind of like one of those snow cone boards that they have at the circus or the ball game. And they just lay it on the table. And if you want a dessert, he tells you what each one is. And you just pick the cup and that's yours. And he came out and he's like, I understand it's your anniversary. We're like, yeah. He's like, how many years? And we go, 12. And he just stopped dead. He's like, wow. Most people, it's like 1 or 2. I don't think I've ever heard of people going out to celebrate their 12th. It's like, thank you and okay.
Thank you and fuck you.
Yeah.
So. But overall, Bohemian Rhapsody's a.
Oh, absolutely! I can't wait to see it again. That'll be a multiple view type of.
Yeah,
thing.
It's like we were after that. I couldn't help but listen to the Platinum Collection.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Even the shit I never listened to, the live shit at the end of the Platinum Collection.
Mm-hmm.
I even listened to that. I was like, fuck, might as well, because I haven't heard it in years.
And then the funny thing is, Rami Malek. I knew him. Well, he started off really in. You probably know him if you're older from the first night at the museum. He was the Egyptian guy. But I know him. I love Mr. Robot. And I'm sad that this coming season is going to be the final one. But it was funny, before the movie, they had that little preview. Did you go see it up Cinemark? Or Theater 14?
14.
14? I don't know if they had the same thing, but in Cinemark, they had a thing there with Rami Malek, and he thanked you for coming out to see the movies and supporting all the cast and crew and everything.
If they did, I was in the shitter.
Okay. Well, they had that, but he was dressed normally, but he had the Elliot Alderson haircut from Mr. Robot, because I guess he was filming it. And it was just funny. I'm like, it's Elliot. Oh wait, that was Freddie Mercury. Yeah. It was just that.
And there we go. Okay,
there we go.
I couldn't get into Mr. Robot. I gave it a shot.
Oh, I love Mr. Robot. You have to give it a chance. You just can't jump in and go, okay, this is good or bad. You have to make the commitment for a full season, and it pays off.
I think I did, but all right, maybe I'll give it another try. It's like I really want to start watching, and I'd hate to say that.
No.
The Big Bang Theory. Do you ever watch that?
I watched the first 4 seasons, and then it actually bored me because they were taking the stereotype way too far, and I'm like, no, I can't bear to watch this anymore.
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna watch him here, and I was like, because I always see like a lot of clips from it, and there is some funny stuff. But every time I see Sheldon, I want to fucking reach through the monitor and punch him in the face. Can't fucking stand the guy. And the sad thing is, I know a couple guys like him. They're not super geniuses, but they have that. I have to do this, only this fucking mentality. That
you're in my spot.
Yes, you're in my spot. My brother's dad.
I was just gonna say, wait a minute. I think you're related to someone like that.
I might be related to a couple more people like that. So, yeah.
You may have married someone like that.
No.
It's just all hers. She doesn't have a spot. It's just all hers.
Yeah. I own nothing. I have my chair. I think that's all I own.
The one series I started last night was I was looking for a new political drama. And I love my political dramas. And
you're not watching West Wing again, are you?
I actually started the West Wing. This will be my 4th go through of the West Wing. But I started watching Homeland.
Oh,
and
Kelly watches Homeland.
I'm only 2 episodes in, and it is completely different. It's the last one I watched, which my wife and I still have a season and a half to finish, is The Americans. And that show is brutal. I mean, it emotionally exhausts you after every
Russians
episode.
That are in this. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in the U.S.
I've never seen a trailer for it, yeah.
Oh, it is emotionally exhausting every episode. So, like, when we get into a binge, for us, a binge of The Americans is 2 episodes, because after that, we just can't take anymore. You need some time away.
Suck the life out of me.
Pretty much.
Okay.
That the Homeland has some of that. But it also has, it reminds me a lot, which I don't know if you watched or not. Did you watch the new Tom Clancy series, the new Jack Ryan series on Amazon? It reminds me a lot of that. And that was a fantastic series. So I could see where the Jack Ryan kind of got its influence from that series on Amazon. So, but it's cool.
Good. And then what was the other thing we both did? Oh, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yes. You are 1 episode ahead of me.
I'm 1 episode ahead of you, so I won't say anything about the 5th episode, which was really good. A lot of creepy parts, though. A lot of creepy parts.
Well, I'll be watching that this weekend because tomorrow's supposed to be a craptastic day. So
yeah,
we got that cold front coming in where it's going to be like wind chills of 15, and I'm already planning on staying inside and getting shit done. So definitely.
Yeah,
have to do
I think
that.
I might stay inside and get shit faced.
Well, my wife's doing her very first craft show at the end of the month, and she asked me to do it with her today because I've done sci-fi conventions, numerous ones as a dealer, and she's never done it before. So I told her I'd come and help her out. But then I'm like, well, if I'm going, I'll make some shit to sell. So I looked online and found a couple cool things to make. So I'll probably be hitting the wood shop tomorrow and making some jigs, and then go into Depot and get some plywood and make some fun stuff to sell.
There you go.
So between that and cleaning my attic and trying to sell over 200 DVDs to some online retailer, I'll be doing that.
Second spin?
Second spin disappointed me. When I did second spin, let's see, my son just turned 9, so it would have been about 8 years ago. I did it to get rid of, because that was when he started walking and he started ripping all the DVDs off the shelves. So I'm like, okay, let's get rid of the ones we don't have and let's move the DVDs upstairs. You used to be able to scan the UPCs using your webcam.
Yeah.
They don't have that now. You have to type each one in. So I looked online for other ones, and there's one.
First world problems.
You type in UPCs for over 200 DVDs and tell me how you'd feel about that.
That's something I do all day at work.
I know, but I'll be doing it tomorrow because the other site I went to is called Declutter, and they would only take half the DVDs. A lot of the DVDs, sorry, we don't need that one right now. No, we're not looking for that one right now. And the amount they gave me is pretty low for the amount of DVDs, so I'm going to go up with my wife's laptop tomorrow, which has a numpad on it, and sit there and key in 200 and some DVDs.
Oh, boy.
But, I mean, the whole purpose of this is my son just turned 9, my daughter just turned 4. We still haven't found that perfect house in the perfect spot yet, but we've reached the entropy point of them sharing a room.
Yeah.
So we're cleaning up the upstairs, which is full of our stuff anyway, me and my wife's stuff. That used to be in my kids' room, which used to be my office. And we're just going to turn that into our bedroom upstairs. And then my son will take over our bedroom.
Isn't your attic, like, very temperature-based?
It is. And we found a solution to that. So in the wintertime, we don't care. We're cold weather people. So a single space heater up there is going to be fine for us. And I've got more space heaters than I know what to do with. Back in the poor days, we used to have space heaters in every room, so we didn't have to pay for heat. That was back when natural gas was more than electricity, and now natural gas is actually less than electricity. So go fracking, poison our water, but give us low gas prices.
Copy that.
And the biggest bitch up there forever was cooling it. And there's just not an easy solution. So we're going to get a very, very powerful portable air conditioner and run the ductwork out this little hallway and have it literally right by the bed.
Yeah.
And that's
blowing right on your face.
Pretty much. The ceilings are too low for a ceiling fan. So what we figure we'll do is we'll literally put the air conditioner on one side of the bed, very close to it. On the other side, have a fan. So this is blowing this way, the fan's blowing this way, and it meets right over the top of the bed and keeps us cool.
There you go.
So that's the theory. So this is going to be our winter-ish project because I got to finish my office now that I'm done with my summer job. Finish that because I stacked all my computer shit on my old desk up there, and that needs to disappear to the new office.
Copy that.
But the first thing is making room, and everything is digital now. Yeah. I mean, every movie I watch is either on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or is on a hard drive in my basement on my Plex server. I don't need hundreds of discs. There are some discs I'm keeping.
Me too.
All of our concert DVDs, all my Stargate series, all my Star Trek series, the Harry Potter series, and a bunch of Blu-rays we're keeping. But other than that, there was shit in there I didn't even know I owned.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, I'm not hanging on to this, so we're paring down and we're doing each section of the attic that way. We're just organize it. What do we have? What do we absolutely need to keep? And 86 the rest. Which is good. You need to do a purge every couple years, and it's been quite a few years since we've done a purge.
Yeah, my attic's due for a purge. I did my basement over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully this winter we can get up to the attic and do it in chunks. You know, this part, and then so my house is split. You know, my attic's split in two halves. So the back half is where I take all the stuff from when the kids were babies back there.
I got a little bit of that left that I gotta take to Salvation
But the front
Army.
half has become the toys we're not playing with, the shit we're not using, and the shit we can't really put out because we still have kids.
Yes.
You know, breakables.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day where I don't have to drink out of plastic cups anymore.
That I don't do that anymore.
So we literally have two glasses that are made of glass.
Your wife uses them.
No, we both use them.
Oh, okay.
So, but somewhere packed away is all the pre-kid glassware. And we had some pretty nice glassware, but for right now, these are 98 cents a piece at Walmart.
Yeah.
I don't care if they get crushed, dropped, or thrown, because if they end up cracking, it's 98 cents. And I don't have to do a cleanup of glass.
Yeah.
Because we're coming...
I don't like glass, personally.
Oh, I love glass.
I don't. Just something I've had.
I'll tell you why. Well, I'm almost done with this. But if you're just grabbing and you don't pay attention, right there. I hate a cup that flexes. Because I'm too clumsy.
At least you're honest.
I am completely honest.
Yeah, at least you're honest. So. All right, so we went the long way around to the Doctor Who, which I think is this week's overlay.
Yes,
right?
it is. We are in the TARDIS.
Yeah, we're in the TARDIS.
I never sent you the picture. I apologize.
That's okay. You sent me what it was, at least.
Yes.
I think I have that on this. In fact, I have it on the screen in front of me here. I think I have it here. I don't know. I think
so. You have to refresh me. The first episode, obviously, we watched. That's the Doctor's entrance. Second episode picked up on the planet where they had the race, which was actually a very good episode.
It was.
They find the TARDIS. The third episode was the civil rights episode with Rosa Parks.
And the fourth one was with the giant spiders.
Yes. Okay. The spiders. Which, when we're watching it, my son's a huge arachnophobe, and I said he can never watch this.
No.
So.
Even I had arachnophobia and I got over it over the years. But even
me
Kelly,
too. Actually, I still don't like them, but I've learned to tolerate them.
Yes, I won't kill them.
I will kill if I need to, but I will never have one as a pet. Nor will I ever. This is going to sound like I'm a girl, but never will I willfully, out of pure curiosity or recreation, handle one.
No, I won't do that. But I won't kill it. If it's in the house and it's scaring the girls, I'll try to pick it up with something, take it outside and let it go.
If it's running and it's large, yeah, I kill it because I don't need it making babies in my house. Well, I should say, if it's on the living floor. If it's in the basement, it's a different story. I leave them alone in the basement. But if it's on the living floor, then I don't need it going somewhere. And because we had that one year out at the end of my porch, there was a nest and it had babies, and it was just if you've never seen one in person, it is absolutely horrifying.
Yeah, millions of them.
Yes, everywhere, and they got the hose.
Yep. I was going to say a lighter, but
it was on the side of the house. That would not have been recommended.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. God damn it. We got to move again. But overall, the 4 episodes that you've seen, and including I can say the 5th one for me, this season is really good.
It is. Even my wife noticed. She goes, it has a completely different feel than any of the other previous seasons.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is what it needed. It needed a fresh showrunner.
It needed a reboot.
Oh,
been a long time since we used that one.
But I mean, the fact that they have a new showrunner. I mean, Richard T. Davies was probably my favorite showrunner.
Russell.
Sorry, not Richard. I don't know why I said Richard. Russell T Davies was my favorite showrunner. I
That's
like
David Tennant.
Well, not only the David Tennant, he also did the Chris Eccleston. But
I like Christopher Eccleston.
So do I. So do I. I just like the way the episodes were put together.
Yeah.
When Stephen Moffat took over, it was okay, but I didn't like the tone, the way the show went. To me, it seemed to go as dark as Tenet got toward the end. To me, his years. Granted, I didn't see any of the Capaldi. I saw almost all the Matt Smith ones. It seemed very kind of depressed and like he was just sick of life. He was just beaten down, and it was never. I don't want to say there was never hope, but like even if you watch Day of the Doctor, I mean, you have the War Doctor. You have Tennant and you have Smith, and Smith is definitely the most curmudgeon of them all.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't like how they went with it. Like Tennant went dark at the end, but he went at the very end. He went dark. It wasn't just okay. We're gonna write this Doctor for 2 extra seasons being dark. That this season is very lighthearted. It's a lot more fun, I think.
You didn't watch Peter Capaldi.
I didn't watch Capaldi.
I loved his episodes. He was so fucking miserable in every episode, and I don't know. It was just something about him. Me and my brother called him Grumpy Doctor because that's just what he was, But he had so many great lines about it because he kind of hated being around people.
I can relate.
You know what I mean? Everybody can.
Yeah.
But he kind of hated. He still did the right thing.
Yeah.
But he was definitely didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. He didn't want to do it, but he knew he had to do it.
He was sick of saving everybody.
Yeah. And his last episode where he, regenerates is really good. His speech to himself, because that's basically what they do anymore.
Yeah.
They have a fucking 5-minute speech to their to the next one in line. I do like when I did like Matt Smith. Matt Smith's where Doctors Who was hitting the mainstream hard.
Yes, it was.
It was on a big upward spiral.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it still is. It's especially in the UK, it's huge, of course. But it was really hitting a high stride there. Like it was starting to get up there with Tenet. You know what I mean? It was on an upward spiral with Tenet, but Matt Smith had just launched up. And then you had Peter Capaldi, who I don't know how well or good or bad they did because I loved him. But I don't know how they did it in terms of ratings and all that. But the new lady, she's fantastic.
She is.
She's Kelly says to me she loves him.
To me, she's that right mix of the old soul, the new Doctor, where she's kind of still quirky and stuff like that, but she has that serious side to her still. That it's not, it's not all for laughs. It's not all I hate the world. It's a nice mix that she goes back and forth through. So
now a couple of her companions are. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. First of all, I think 3 companions is a lot.
Yes, I think what you should have done is had the girl.
Yeah. Yaz.
Yaz, I think her name is. Or I shouldn't say the girl. Have one of them.
I would even went with 2 because you did have for quite a while there Rose and Mickey together as companions. Yeah. That I could see Yaz and what the hell's the guy's name? I don't remember the guy's name.
Neither do I.
But forgive us for saying not knowing the names, but the old guy, he's useless.
Yeah.
He's baggage.
I don't know. He was useful in episodes.
But again, I think 3 companions is too much.
I agree. I think I liked the Rosa Parks episode. I really did. It was, that's a real piece of history and almost, I don't want to say in our time, but it's close to our time, But Herb having to be in the bus, that's a little fucking stretch, guys.
Yeah. And after we talked about it, and we agreed to disagree on this point, but I said after that episode, I hope it doesn't remain political throughout the season. And the next episode was political. And it was like, son of a bitch, come on. So what do you mean,
No, I'm thinking about the one you haven't seen yet.
That's what I'm looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that one is outside the realm.
Yeah,
and it might not be.
I don't think it is. I really don't. But you see, I don't think in those contexts like most people. I don't care about that shit. Politics you can't change.
No, but there are certain aspects that if I want to think about politics, I watch my political drama. I'm watching Doctor Who. It's a sci-fi fantasy. I want to escape the direct correlations with...
Anything can be directly correlated to your political affiliation. Anything can do that.
Anything can do that, but when you're... See, we always said we never talk politics on the show. But if
this is probably the one line we could draw here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you had Tenet and you had the oh god, they weren't called the Shadow Council.
Oh, because he says the name of it about fucking 30
yeah,
times.
and they finally go at the very end to the council.
I don't have my phone here. I left it over there so it wouldn't make any noise.
Mine's over there so it doesn't make noise.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got a browser window.
Yeah, all right. I was about to do the same thing.
Doctor Who, the Shadow Proclamation.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So, I mean, it was obviously based, it was political, it was based on representatives, but it was set in a way that actively didn't mirror current events that are going on in the real world at that moment.
Well, yeah, I can...
Where that episode 4 was a direct correlation to our current president and his practices.
All right, no more politics.
No more politics.
Yeah, we're gonna stop right here.
We'll stop.
It's gonna
get nasty.
It's gonna get ugly, and
yes.
we have very different political beliefs.
We do.
Yeah. So.
And
but I do.
I'm not saying. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish. Because.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying I'm right. And that's the beautiful thing about having different points of view is we can express our different views and still be friends at the end of the day.
It's too bad our friends can't do that.
Exactly.
Yes, our friends are incapable of that.
But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk.
My politics are the new Doctor's awesome.
The new Doctor is awesome.
And she's good looking.
She is.
You know. Which I've never been able to say that about the Doctor. So his companions were really good.
I don't know. You seem to have a little crush on Capaldi there for a while.
I think Capaldi's hilarious, but they did a lot of stuff in his time that they didn't do before. But that's just me. Like you saw the Christmas special with him, didn't you?
No, I have not seen. I saw part of his very first episode, and it was actually before it aired because it was I don't know if it was a screener, but I know there was supposed to be a T-Rex in the Thames, and they actually had written there FX T-Rex in Thames instead of showing him. So the effects weren't there yet, and that may have turned me off to it, but I don't know. I never watched any of that.
Capaldi's first episode has Matt Smith in, which is really neat because they actually use something in the TARDIS that you never see, the fucking phone.
Well, no, Matt Smith used... You're talking about the one on the outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used it.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Shit. But there was a point in which Matt Smith called his Capaldi.
Really?
Yeah, in Capaldi's very first episode. There's a scene in Matt Smith's last episode where you see him using the phone, but you don't know why. But then you find out. You have to watch that.
Okay.
Now. Yeah, you need to watch Matt Capaldi's first episode. His first season, it's like every Doctor. The first season's a little. You have to buy into it.
Yeah, you have to jump in for the ride.
Yeah. And you know what, though? The show is, as much as I say it about a time-traveling Doctor alien, it's very inconsistent on what the regeneration does.
Mm-hmm.
How it affects them post.
Yes.
Because, like David Tennant, he became, he regenerated into David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, and he was like, okay, Barcelona.
Yeah.
And they're like, boom, here we go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But the next episode was him recovering and all that, you know. And then you go into, I'm trying to think, what was Matt Smith's? Matt Smith's was...
He was crashing with the TARDIS. And that's when he kept going back and forth finding Pond. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was young, and then she was older, and then she was...
Because we did the whole fish fingers and custard thing, and...
That's how I gross Kelly out. If she starts to try to bother me about it, I'm like, fish fingers and custard. Well...
Okay, so I was curious when we were talking about the new Doctor. The new Doctor is actually 4 months older than Matt Smith.
Wow.
They were both born in 1982.
Fuck, I'm older than her.
We're both
You're
older.
older than, yeah.
We're both older than Matt Smith and Jodie Whittaker.
Wow.
So I was curious. I thought she was younger or older than that. I thought
So
I was picturing her kind of around our age, and I'm actually surprised how young she is. She's actually the same age as my wife. Hey, honey, you could be the Doctor.
What'd you say? Hoorah!
She just goes, yeah. She's sewing, getting ready for her craft show. It's gonna be one of them weekends where we're crafty people.
Oh.
Actually, I don't mind. I like spending time downstairs and making stuff out of wood. No comment.
It was hard.
It was very. Oh! Couldn't resist.
No, I could not. It was good though. It was really good. So yeah, overall, I think we're on the right track with this season of the show.
Yes.
I hope it stays. You know, there hasn't been a crappy episode yet, like the 5 I've seen.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, there hasn't been like a shitty one.
The first one was. I felt like I missed half the story because I felt like I should have known more than I did. But once you find out at the end, they did that on purpose because they're setting up the storyline for the season. So once they mentioned some things in the second and then fourth episodes referring back to the first one, I was like, okay, now I'm starting to understand.
Let me ask you a question about the Rosa Parks episode because I said this to Kelly. I said they used that thing to send the
guy back to like prehistoric times.
Yeah, or whatever, right? I have a guarantee that this guy's going to be the villain of the series now. That's my feeling.
No, I don't think so.
You think he was a one-shot?
I think he was a one-shot. Because he has no way to get back.
I don't know. That's kind of like Death by Weeping Angel, you know?
Yeah, and you see how that turns out.
Yeah. Well.
But I think the bounty hunter from the first one, when he took the scout life form.
The guy with teeth in his face?
Yes, with teeth in his face, yes.
God.
And he took those life forms that were the Seekers that made him look like the Squiddies from the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
I think what he did to them is going to be part of the overall storyline of why he did that. And it's going to be, I think that's going to come back.
Okay.
A reason why he did that. Because even the doctor said she's never seen someone do that before. That I'm thinking that might come back. But I could be wrong. But depending on the showrunner, they do set up a lot of shit in the beginning you don't think about.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'll tell you mine.
Tennant's first episode. He's on the spaceship fighting with a sword, gets his hand cut off. And Ian's like, oh, I'm still regenerating, and here comes the hand. Later on, Jack Harkness finds the hand, uses it to lock onto the TARDIS, and then finds the doctor that way. That's how we find Jack Harkness. And then later on, the doctor is almost killed. He goes to regenerate, and he focuses all his regeneration into the hand.
Yeah.
That one little thing in the first episode set up a lot of things down the road.
Well, you have to think like Matt Smith's entire run was based around the crack in the wall.
Exactly.
His whole run was based around the crack in the wall. And eventually led up to the 50th anniversary where the crack in the wall was really Gallifrey and the Time Lords on the other in another dimension. That's really what it was.
So that I'm thinking they usually set that up pretty early, that I'm wondering what's going to go on here. So.
Yeah. Yeah, her first episode was very Matt Smith. Very
Yes,
manic,
yes.
very running around,
Yes.
very, you know, that. And then
because you had Tenet's episode where, because we didn't get a first one with Eccleston with number 9. Number 10, he basically slept most of the episode recovering from regeneration.
yeah,
Where we have number 14, Jodie Whittaker, she's just jumping everywhere. Because if I remember what I did see of Capaldi's first episode, he comes out of the TARDIS and collapses, doesn't he?
yeah.
I mean, she didn't have any downtime.
No, and it's like it's very inconsistent. Like Matt Smith didn't have any downtime.
No, he didn't.
He crashed the TARDIS,
Remodeled
you know,
it, and
yeah, you know, and then he's running around with them around the town trying to solve the problem. Then he gets
Yeah.
back in the TARDIS and goes, and then he's good to go. And then Capaldi, you know, he went down, and then trying to think, yeah, then she, you know, Jodie Whittaker, she got right up, and that's it. Here we are.
Yeah.
Well, she fell out of the TARDIS
yeah.
as it was going to crash. You know,
I did like the fact that we got to see her make her own screwdriver.
that was really neat.
Yeah.
That was a really good idea.
Like, it was really cool with Matt Smith when they had the new TARDIS interior and the sonic screwdriver pops up out of the console.
Yeah, well, it's like it was made for him.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. David Tennant burned out a screwdriver and the TARDIS gave him the same exact one, which was cool. But to see the Doctor make their own screwdriver, I thought was really cool.
There's a chunk during Capaldi's run where he doesn't use it. Because they all didn't use one. You know what I mean? But
then he had sonic sunglasses. I was like,
yeah, sunglasses, which had a lot of hilarious moments. Like there's parts where other people put them on, and he says, "Please don't go in my browser history."
Oh, jeez.
And it's actually more than once that joke comes up because when they do the Christmas special, he meets the first Doctor, who's
I remember that. Yeah, I remember seeing the preview for that.
Regenerating at the same time, and he's trying to stop it because he doesn't want to change, you know. And he gives him his sunglasses, and he gives them to his older self, and he goes, "I'm never gonna forget this. This is hilarious because it's like this old Doctor is wearing these, you know, sunglasses." And then he goes, "What's browser history?" And they're like, he goes, "I'll take them off," you know.
Now I'm gonna
for yourself to watch the Christmas special. That's really good.
I'm gonna put something in your head that I saw during the first episode that I can't get out of my head, and you're gonna hate me for it. But
oh god,
her sonic screwdriver reminds me of Darth Sidious's lightsaber.
It's curved.
Well, it's curved. It's gold, and
I can't say anything because the 5th episode does something with that, and you have to watch it.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it tonight with the wife because she's gonna be up late.
Yeah.
So Doctor Who tonight, hon? Sure. There you go.
Sex tonight?
No.
One or the other, huh? No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, neither.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Eh.
And you got to get on House of Cards, my friend, so we could talk about that.
I know, and I'll try to get on it during the week. I got 2 weeks to get to it, but I will try to get on it so I can. I got to know what happened to Frank.
So.
I might watch it. I might watch the first episode when we're done here.
I need to talk to someone about it, and you're the only person I know that watches it. So.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I asked Kelly. I said, "Don't you want to watch it?" Because she watched, I think, She watched season 1, 2, and 3 with me, and then she said she just got sick of it. And I'm like, "Don't you want to watch the ending of it?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Fuck you."
I was like that with Mad Men. We watched it all the way up until it was close to the last season, and it was just kind of like we didn't care about it anymore. It was just getting monotonous to watch it.
Well, that's like the CW, was it the CW, WB shows? Fuck, is it CW still? Who knows? But it's like the Flash, Supergirl.
Oh yeah, that's the CWs. Yeah.
Yeah, all those, the Arrow, and then the Legends of Tomorrow. All those shows are really great, and they got great stories. But it's 4 fucking shows to keep up with. I don't have that kind of life force. I don't got it in me anymore.
That's 3 hours a week of just trying to keep current.
Yeah, and I told Kelly, I said, you know what? When it comes on Netflix or Hulu or whatever the fuck comes on, I'll watch them all. You know what I mean? Because Constantine's on The Legends of Tomorrow, and he's my favorite comic book character, but he's an asshole. That's why.
And here's the thing, and I don't want to name names, but a mutual friend of ours on Facebook who happens to run a group we're part of. I don't know how he has so much time to watch as much TV as he does and play as many games as he does.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like I don't understand how there's enough hours in the day. He works full time, has 2 kids, and yet watches every single show and plays every single game to completion. it's like, how? And I mean, he's like, oh, Daredevil dropped tonight. Oh, I finished it, and it's the next day. It's like, how?
Yeah. Well, he must not have to sleep.
I don't get it. I mean, I've tried not to sleep for years, and I keep losing.
Yeah. Eventually, you just go.
And he's older than us.
I know.
So I don't get people like that.
No. I think we're out of shit.
No, actually, we're not out of shit. But
what do you got?
Well, we have something else, but I'm going to branch off on something here that kind of goes hand in hand with what we just discussed with our mutual friend. But here's a good question. We're both in our 40s now. Both have kids. Yours are older than mine. Well, yeah, actually, both of them are older. One by a year, one by a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, now, we used to buy a lot of things for us, meaning individuals. Collectibles, sometimes action figures, statues, weapons of mass destruction. And it's just, I have to wonder, was it when we had kids, or was it at what point did we stop buying shit for ourselves?
I stopped around when I had Megan. I knew then that my things I like would get destroyed quickly, and some of them did, which sucks, but whatever. But I think at that point I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get things once in a while that I really like, or if it's like, a game related thing or a movie or whatever it is. If I end up getting it, I get it, but I don't actively pursue it anymore. What about you?
I'm pretty much the same thing. Like, my wife, for my birthday this year, we went out and we went to dinner, and then I wanted to go up to my new favorite store, which is Field and Stream up in Dixon City. And I bought gun oil to clean my guns, pads to clean the guns, and a hat. And my wife actually looked at me and she goes, "I am so impressed with you." And I said, "Why?" She goes, "You bought yourself something. You didn't buy something the house needed, that the kids needed, or I needed." She goes, "You bought something for yourself," which I never do. We went to New York City last year. Well, actually, technically this year, early in the year, in the spring. And we each had a couple $100 to spend. And on me, not including food, I think I spent $25, and then went to the Disney store that was there and dropped like $100 on the kids on stuff I knew they would like. And it's just, I'm curious, at what point did we, who used to have large collections of things, is it part of maturity that we feel we don't need this anymore? Or do we look back and go, that was pre-kid me, now this is post-kid me? Or is it maybe just, like you said, there's no room to display it. If it does get displayed, it's going to get destroyed by either the kids or the dog or something. And we just we deal with that reality now.
I agree with all that. It's all true. I can't put shit out.
Yeah.
I can't, Like my shelf with my NES games on it, that's up high, but still shit gets nailed on it. I have my Batleth on a shelf, that I can't touch. Not that I played with it anyway. But,
sure you do. You're out there in your underwear in the yard at night, singing Klingon opera.
Yeah, maybe I was. Anyway, and then, like some action figures and statues and things that I've got picked up over the years, stuff I like, I still have Duke Nukem, the action figure. I still have that. That's hilarious.
I actually gave mine to my son.
Yeah.
He saw it. He's like, he was upstairs. I was looking for something, and I opened up. It was all my loose action figures. And he saw Duke Nukem. He's like, "Dad, can I have that?" I said, "Yeah, you can have that. I love Duke." And then he found my Master Chief one, which I wasn't going to tell him. I still have another Duke Nukem sealed in the package with the shrink ray.
I do too.
So, shut up. You're supposed to be sleeping. Yeah, he goes, "I heard that."
Yeah.
But I'm the same way. But what led me into that conversation was bringing up that person, especially that group we belong to, which shall be nameless. a lot of the people there are our age, if not older. A lot of them have kids, and a lot of them still do that whole toy collecting thing or statue collecting thing. And it's just, I know you're the same way I am. That's why I pose this question. It's like, what changed in our brains? I don't know about your dad, but my dad never collected anything growing up. He'd buy himself what he calls toys, which was tools and machinery. But he never really collected anything for himself. He just did things like
guns.
Yeah, but he actually didn't have that many guns. He inherited a lot of guns from his dad.
Oh, okay. All right.
But he would buy.
He purchased all them.
Yeah, he only bought, I think, in his life 3 guns, honestly. But he would buy machinery and tools to make his life easier. And I'm just curious because I was a big collector. I know you were a big collector, and it's just kind of like, a lot of our friends haven't changed that, but you and I have. Mm-hmm. And especially last night when you sent me a text about an old mutual friend of ours that I bet you an entire room in their house is just collectibles. Yes. And it's just kind of like, we kind of grew out of that. And it could be because we had kids or something like that. I found it fascinating. I wanted your input on that, like how your train of thought of how it happened.
A portion of the people on that group don't have kids.
Yes.
You have to imagine. Let's say even if it's 30% of its X amount of members, you know. I know a lot of them do. And a lot of them have had kids over the years, you know what I mean, since they've joined it. I can't believe we're talking about a Facebook group.
Well, that's how we have friends nowadays. We don't actually
You're right.
see people. We don't call people. We text them. We post on their wall.
Shut up, bird.
Okay. Anyway, just one thing about Facebook isn't it creepy when somebody that you know passed away comes up and their birthday's on there?
It is, and I've actually started unfriending those people. So because I find it too creepy when they pop up.
Yeah, I guess I have to do that.
It took me a while, and it was every year, and I'm like, last year I started. I'm like, you know what? No, you're not going to be hurt if I unfriend you because you're dead, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So some of them probably don't have kids, or they have young kids, or they have older kids. I assume it's more on the other end, by the way, older kids. But you know, some of our friends are having kids now.
That boggles my mind.
Yeah. Good for science, you know.
I wouldn't want to be starting over with a newborn at 41.
No, fuck no.
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 Are you kidding? My daughter's like 95% potty trained, and I can't wait till we can get rid of the nighttime diapers.
Yes. But I mean, I don't know how people have time for that. To still collect and, you know what I mean? Like, it's nice to see people still do Halloween parties. I didn't think that was still really a thing. But that was all over Facebook.
Yeah.
Especially that group. You know? People were still dressing up for Halloween.
Or people who go out every weekend. It's like, how the hell do you do that?
Yeah. They don't have kids.
No, I know ones that have kids that are always out. And it's just, it amazes me that I don't want to think we're in the minority, that we were just screwing up life. But I like to think that you and I, well, I don't want to say we're more responsible because that's insulting everybody else. But I like to think you and I have different sets of priorities than other people do.
Yeah, I think you do. And I think we're focused parents.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I shouldn't even say parents. We're focused family people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Not everybody has the mom-dad dynamic. Not all homes have that. And I never understood that until a friend of mine didn't have his father around.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he died, he was just the mother and father were separated. Because that's bizarre for kids to understand. Like, your kids wouldn't understand that.
No.
Because they have a mommy and a daddy.
Yeah.
My kids have a mommy and a daddy. But when they find out, like Megan's just starting to figure out, because I think one of her friends, in fact, I know she is, because actually I know her now that I think about it, is one of her friends' mother is separated from the father. And I've never met the father, so I don't know. But I've known her since I was a kid. And, you know, she obviously has her own kid. But, like, my young Katie will ask me, she'll be like, Daddy, where's her daddy? I'm like, he doesn't live here, honey. It's a foreign concept.
Yeah.
It is totally a foreign concept.
And I'd have to say, with a reasonable amount of certainty, that family dynamics like us, who
are in the minority,
that we met the girl, we got married, we had the kids, we stayed together.
We won the game.
A lot of that doesn't happen, especially not in that order. No. I mean, that yesterday, my youngest, who's 4, came to me and she goes, "I want babies." To which I said, "You have to get married first. They don't let you have a baby unless you're married."
Smart man.
Okay. Let's put that in their head first, but
that's fantastic.
Yes.
I'll try that.
But it's funny because, I mean, like you said, some of the people that are our age that are having babies, they're not married to that donor.
Yeah.
I'll use
they're
that
not
term.
Married to that special someone.
Yes, exactly.
Say it that way. I mean, and I know a lot of people who are really young, in their early 20s, having kids, not married. You know what I mean? I think we are the last generation of the family dynamic.
The traditionalists.
The traditional family dynamic.
Yeah.
I guess you could say the traditionalists. Because it's like, now there's more, there's mom and dads who live together, but they're not married.
Yeah.
And that was happening as we got older, but, excuse me. But now it's like, I know more couples that aren't married than are.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked. I didn't realize it till the other day. It just happened to be a succession of posts that I think it had to been 6 or 7 people that I actually physically know on Facebook posted, and it wasn't until I looked at their names and they had all been remarried. They're on marriage number 2.
Wow.
And it was just, you know that in your head, but it's not till, like I said, it was just happened to be a succession of posts that they had, their new last names that didn't used to be their last names. And it was just, it was weird to think about that. Or how many of our friends have gotten divorced. And it's just weird. I think
about my relatives and that have gotten divorced, but my friends, I mean, I really only had, well, hold on. Maybe. I don't know, 1 or 2. I know 1 for sure, but 2 I'd have to think about.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but just off the top of my head, I can name you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 friends right off the top of my head that we know and went to school with that are divorced.
Well, you're going to have to text me the name. Well, we'll talk about it after. We'll talk about it after when we're not recording.
But it's just, it's weird because it seems to have escaped us. That we are the classic family dynamic.
Is it, we didn't find sometimes, I'd hate to say it, but sometimes people are looking for a reason to leave.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it just doesn't work out, or they didn't fight hard enough. Like, I'd hate to, I'm not going to say I hate to say it, but it's, like I fight, every relationship has a rough patch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no matter what it is. No matter what the dynamic is, too. You know what I mean? It's man, woman, woman, you name it. It's tough to live with a fucking person that isn't you. You know what I mean? You know
I mean, when they say
a female clone of me, I'd break your fucking neck. But
when they say marriage is hard and raising a family is hard, they're underestimating it. And I just think that I think a lot of people give up too easily sometimes.
They do. And they say the oh crap. Okay,
what?
Anyway. Stuff popping up on my calendar for tomorrow. Just
pissing you off already for tomorrow.
Yeah. Fuck, really? I gotta get up. I don't have to get up too early. Yeah, I don't know, man. We're just a different way of we see the family dynamic works.
Yeah.
I had a fight, you know what I mean? Like me and Kelly went to therapy. It went to a therapist. It's hard, Sometimes you need a moderator that isn't a relative, I could have easily sat in front of my aunt who's a therapist, but she's a lot different. She's not for marriage. She does other things, but I could have sat in front of her. But she was going to take my side, no matter what, because I'm her blood relative. You know,
the deck was stacked in your favor.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with Kelly's sister. She's a therapist too. But if I went there, I have more of a belief that her sister would be fair and honest. But still, I know in the back of my head, it's like a little piece like, that's my fucking sister, asshole.
Yeah.
You know. And you can only do so much more alcohol therapy, or you know. You
I don't know. I don't think we've reached the limit of that yet.
No. Pretty close. I mean,
there's been days.
Yeah.
That turn into weekends.
But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it turned into decades. Last time I knew it was 2008.
But it struck me also the other couple weeks ago when you came up to my mom's and we all sat around the table having a drink and we were talking about old times at my old house and that we were the age now that my parents were back then. And it was just one of those weird things, like having my sister there who has 2 kids, who never got married. Mm-hmm. You and I, we have 2 kids, but we got married and kind of did it the proper right way. That it was just kind of like...
I think that's a belief that it's the proper right way.
It's a firm belief.
It's a belief, but nobody knows how it is.
No. I mean, shit happens, and sometimes it doesn't happen in the right order. And I know many people that it didn't happen in that order, but they ended up together and made everything happy. Mm-hmm. But it's just, it's kind of weird that... we've kind of turned into our fathers.
We have.
That it's just kind of weird that for us, family's at the first, not the second or third, that we kind of put everything aside personally for the betterment of the family, that I don't see a lot of that anymore.
Mm-mm. I don't either. I see, I have a few friends that still have the regular dynamic, the mother and father, but a lot of people I work with aren't, they have kids with other people that I work with. And they're not married. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But we're not ones to say what's right and what's wrong anyway. No. But I mean, it's like, I think we grew up in that dynamic that's why we see it as the right thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Okay, this got a lot deeper than I expected. This was all about collecting action figures, and we got deep.
Yeah. Rambo. There we go. Something violent. There we go. That's the only thing I can think of.
So the one thing we talked about before we came on here, which I knew nothing about, was the new Switch games on
that's right.
For
that's
the
right.
subscription service.
For the Nintendo, the NES online deal. So you get this month, you get the original Metroid, Mighty Bomb Jack, which is the fucking quirkiest platform I've ever played, and then Twin Beat, which is like a shooter, I guess. It's been on a lot of systems, but I've never played it to say if it's great or not. But the original Metroid, on having a save state feature, that's a win.
Yeah,
you need it for that.
Kids today don't understand a game without a save.
Yeah, that had that crummy password system that would take I think it had 3 lines and upper and lowercase letters and numbers, and fuck you, what were you thinking?
Hell, I'm just thinking the original Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
You either sat down and beat it in one sitting, or you went home.
Yeah.
You didn't beat it.
How about 1942?
Oh,
remember that game?
I still love that game, but yeah.
54 levels in that. And you had to play it in one sitting. I remember it counted from 54 to 1. That's how that worked. It was backwards from what normal games would be. And I remember I was on 8 on a snow day. No, on a 2-hour delay. And I said to my mom, I have to leave this on.
Yep.
Why? Because I don't want to lose my place here. My mom, foreign concept. Any system I ever had, my mom said it was Nintendo.
We did that with a friend of mine with Wizards and Warriors.
Oh, fuck that game.
That we had to go somewhere, and we're at his house. And we're like, okay, we paused it. And his mom, same thing. Just shut it off. No, we've been playing this for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
We'll just pick it up when you get home. It doesn't save. You don't understand the amount of work we put into this.
Yes. Moms never understand it. My dad got it.
Mm-hmm.
My dad understood it. Because there'd be a lot of times he'd come home from work and the Nintendo would be on. The TV would be off. Because he would get home from work before we got out of school. He'd be there for us,
And now kids today it's not so much they expect to save every 10 minutes, but now the thing is I can't pause an online game. That's their
you
cry.
Fucking pussy. You know what? Remember though, it's funny you say that is because when we used to deathmatch, if it was Doom or Duke or Blood or whatever it was, because we never did a lot of Shadow Warrior. I think we should try that next time.
We did a couple, but not a lot.
The Wang Bang.
The Wang Bangs.
Yeah, the Wang Bangs. We should really try that. But you could pause the Wang Bang. Well, you could. Fuck. I knew that was going to get me.
Come on, keep going. You're digging deeper. Come on.
You can pause the Wang Bang. You can pause the online.
By the way, that is the title of the episode. By the way.
Oh,
you can pause the Wang Bang.
Yeah. Pause the Wang Bang.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. That might be 8 out of 17 I've named. But you could pause them, and everybody in the game would be paused, which I thought was a great feature because first off, in that time it was dial-up.
Yes.
So we had no way of communicating.
No, didn't Doom have a text?
Well, they all did.
Yeah.
They all had a feature.
But you had I have to go to the bathroom, and it was completely on Scout's honor that you wouldn't keep running around the board, get all the ammo, and stand there right in front of, the other person when they come back and go, "Hi, asshole," and BFG their ass.
I remember me and you would do that shit when we tried new maps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We would run around and not really try to kill each other just to check out the map, and then it would become a free-for-all.
One of the best online gaming experiences and most depressing I remember with you was, again, dial-up. We did a Warcraft 2 map.
Yeah.
And you and I spent 3 hours building up our armies. And when we finally got to the battle, it was over in 10 minutes.
Yes.
And it was wow.
I remember we'd pause it or whatever. We'd send each other, be back at 107.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I remember going to the bathroom, getting something to drink, getting a goodie and sitting back down. And then I continued to, mine gold. That's why I never understood Warcraft didn't really need an online, a multiplayer feature, but it did too. You know what I mean? It definitely, if they didn't have that then, it wouldn't be World of Warcraft now.
Yeah.
God bless that.
I do miss those days.
I do. That'd be something I don't think I would want to play though. Warcraft's fucking boring to me now.
No, I still like it, but I miss those days where it was one-on-one, not this battle royale shit where you're thrown into a world with 100 people that you have no connection to, no nothing.
Yeah,
and
online games have become as personal as you can make them. They're very impersonal now.
I loved when we used to play Doom 3 on the PS3 with you and your brother.
Yeah.
Because I knew you guys were all on the headset, and if I called you a vile name, there was respect behind it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just someone calling you an asshole randomly online. When I would tell you, "Hey, go suck a dick," you'd be like, "Yeah, I deserve that." It was more personal because we knew each other.
That was like when we were playing Duke Nukem Forever. Duke Nukem Forever was fun.
It was a better online game than it was a single player game.
It was. I enjoyed the single player, but that was just me. And then we got the add-on maps for that, and it got even fucking nuttier.
I remember that one map. It was like an outdoor city, and I was an asshole because there was a drop. Was it pipe bombs or something? But there was a corner in the room that was completely in shadow, and I would just sit there and snipe either you or John, whoever came into that room.
Yep.
Every time.
I remember you guys be getting fucking mad at me because I would be pipe bombing you guys at a distance. I would be going, And as soon as it would get close to your face, it'd be like, eep, beep.
And you were accurate with those pipe bombs.
Yeah, I don't know how, because I'm not accurate at just about anything else in my life. But pipe bombs and Duke Nukem I was good with.
And then, I mean, if it goes back to the original Duke 3D, you and I used to play for hours just with proximity mines.
Oh, man. They're the fucking most devious things ever. I remember we would do proximity mines, or one of the most devious things in Duke, it's no good in forever, but in Duke 3D was the Hollow Duke.
Oh, yes.
That would get you, because you could put it in a doorway.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be fucking firing away, and then you would just turn around and go, splat, fucking dead. But putting laser wire, the trip mines, or whatever they were, the laser wire trip mines, in the fucking elevators.
Oh, yes.
That was like the genius moment me and you had.
Or right outside a door.
Yeah.
But you do.
Does it open up? Beep.
But you do it 2 levels. You put one at the bottom and one at the top. So there's no way to get around it.
Yeah. You're better off just dying.
Yeah.
So after a while, it's just me and you throwing pipe bombs down hallways to set them off.
Yep.
That's good shit. Of course, the classic, Starship Enterprise map. That's where me and you,
yes.
We did our most work there. We have to play that. We really do.
We got to get back to Blood as well.
Yeah, I would really like to Wang Bang. Because I would really like to do that, because that's not one we did a lot of.
No, it's not.
And I would like to see how that kind of works. You know what I mean? But to find a good map for that.
And you don't have the new Shadow Warrior, do you, for your Mac?
No.
Well, I should say the new one, not 2, the original one.
I have.
Okay,
no, I have.
not the original. The original remake.
Yeah. Why don't we say Shadow Warrior 2013?
There you go.
Yeah, you go. Because the other one was 2016, I think. They're both good games.
Yeah.
They're fucked up, though.
I'm about halfway through the 2013 one, and
yeah,
I haven't touched it in a year, so.
Yeah. It's good.
It is good. It's got the humor to it, which I love.
Yeah.
I was hoping they didn't cut that out. And it's brutal.
Yeah.
Some of those things.
It is. It's him slicing guys up is sad. It's just so satisfying.
It is.
But the second one's fucking nuts. How many weapons and guns and upgrades you can get? It's another one of those collectathon games.
Oh, I hate those.
After a while, because there's like 9 different, there's 10 different shotguns, 20 different pistols, and blah blah blah.
And it's funny. I hate those type of games, but I hate the other type of games where you're allowed to carry 2 weapons and that's it. So every time you come across a new weapon, you have that 30 seconds of indecision. Do I get that and drop this one? Do I need this one? Which one should I keep? Which one should I take?
Well, I'm always like, I do that. I'm always like, I should keep a short to mid-range weapon.
Yeah.
Shotgun or, a pistol. But then I'm like, the secondary weapon is I want either something long range or a fucking heavy weapon.
I'm always like, you need that mid-range. Like, you always need a shotgun.
Yeah.
But to me, you always need a pistol because you just need something rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, okay, here's a heavy machine gun. Do I want to give up the shotgun for that? Oh, here's a sniper rifle. Do I want to give up the pistol for that? Oh, a fucking rocket launcher.
Yeah.
It's like it's no good for close distance, but it'll clear a room pretty quickly. Yeah. It's like I hate that indecision because I suck at decisions. I just suck at decisions.
Yeah.
It was kind of like in the original Rise of the Triad. You could only have one kind of rocket launcher.
Yeah.
At a time. So he was
That's
like,
another game we should fucking play.
So do you take the straight rocket launcher, the drunk missile, the firewall, the heat seeker? And it was always, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. The fucking Excalibur.
Oh, Excalibur was odd. Then we turned it into the dog. And...
Yeah. I played that about a week ago. I fired up to play, just run through the first level. Yeah, I just like to do that.
I did the same thing a couple weeks ago. And I was showing Jack, and he's like, "Why are you a dog?" I said, "It turned into a dog." Well, can you attack? I'm like, "Oh yeah." And you start mauling the guys, and he thought that was the awesome thing.
It is God mode.
Yeah. But that is a great thing. You just see the hand, and just everything just vaporizes.
Yeah, everything gets obliterated.
Good times.
Yeah.
Speaking of good times, our good times are up, buddy. We are actually over by 9 minutes.
Whoa. Shut it down.
Shut it down. Shut that shit down.
Do we still have the Skype sound, the shutdown sound?
Of course we do.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. The old hang-up sound. You did that to me a few times. You
Should have
deserve-
done that to you more times, but
who knows? Who cares? So, well, let's see. Trevor, 1 week away from Portrait of Ruin. Another year. 16th.
wow.
Get on it.
I will
It's
get
like
on it.
Yeah, it's like 20 years now.
Actually, I got to spend some time with my son before the 14th because Fallout 76 goes live, and
You'll never see him again.
I lose him now during the beta. He's already playing the beta all day tomorrow. The beta's live till 3 p.m. Eastern. So he already told me, he goes, Dad, I'm playing the beta all day tomorrow.
Oh, at least he told you.
I will say the one nice thing, and I'm not going to say Bethesda's a dick about this, but they are a dick. For the Xbox One and the PS4, you download the demo, but once the demo is over, to get the full version, you have to erase the demo and re-download all 45 gigabytes.
That's a fucking dick move.
The PC, you download the demo. When the full version comes out, you just download the patch and you're done.
See,
you don't
that's
have
how
to
it should
re-download the whole game. So
That's how it should be. So, like, subscribe, thank you.
pretty much.
Yeah.
40somethingpodcast.com, 40something show on Twitter. I did notice our Alexa link is broken. I have to figure out how to do that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to play the episode the other day, and she says the latest episode is 5. So.
Alexa, stop.
Oh, mine won't stop talking now because I mentioned her name. We call her the nice Amazon lady. So the nice Amazon lady doesn't play our show, so I have to figure out why. But
Oh, no.
you can still get us on the Google Play Store, iTunes, directly from our site.
YouTube.
The YouTube for the video version, or
Yeah.
the site for that. They'll take it to that. So
Yeah.
all that fun stuff.
And all that jazz.
So let's see. In 2 weeks, let me make sure.
It'll be the day after Thanksgiving.
Which we will not have a show for. I will be out of town. So we are going to have to figure out a time. Actually, we might not be able to do a show for a few weeks.
Wow, you got hunting coming, huh?
I have hunting right after that because that next Friday, the 30th, I will be getting ready to go hunting. That's Saturday, the 1st is the first day of mixed season. So I think our next episode may be the 7th of December. It looks like we may be going a month without an episode.
Well, that sucks. But it is the holidays.
Unless, actually, no. If you're available, I can do it that Sunday or that Saturday after Thanksgiving, the 24th. We'll keep that. We'll bookmark.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
I can do that date.
In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna put that on the calendar now.
There you go.
And
Because I'll be home late that Friday. I'll be free that Saturday night. Because hunting doesn't start till that Monday. So Sunday night will be the night where I toss and turn for 5 hours when I should be sleeping, and then get my 90 minutes of sleep and go out into the woods and shoot something.
hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully.
See any big deer on the cams?
Yes, I actually have a big 8 running around my stand. So going around down there Sunday to post the property and pick up the camera. So we'll pick up the camera cards. So see if he's still running around, hopefully.
Copy that. Hopefully he's still good and
Hopefully
he's still good.
Hopefully he's still good. So right now, yeah, we're looking at about 3 weeks, kids. So, well, maybe we could do 2 weeks. So
Yeah, it might be 2 weeks. Just
24th, I think we might be able to pull off a recording. So, okay, well, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, Jerry. Thank you for coming.
Goodbye, hetero life, mate.
Wang bang.
We'll see you. Wang bang.
Bye.
Bye.